Hello everyone, we've got a modulus function question here, so let's have a look at this one. Figure 2 shows a sketch of the graph with the equation y is equal to the modulus of x add 4 minus 5. The vertex of the graph is at a point P as shown in figure 2. Find the coordinates of P. So I always think that when you're doing this, it's very comparable with completing the square. So if this was written in sort of completing the square format like that, we would know that the coordinates of the turning point would come from changing the sign of that one and keeping that one the same. Well, actually, when we've got a modulus function graph, it follows the same kind of pattern. So we've got 2 times the modulus of x add 4 minus 5. So we do the same thing. So we change the sign of that one and we keep that one the same. So therefore the coordinate of P is going to be minus 4 minus 5. And that's what I do when I've got to write down the coordinates of a vertex like that. Now part B, solve the equations. Quite nice. 3x plus 40 is equal to 2 times the modulus of x add 4 minus 5. So we basically solve it once as though the modulus graph was positive and once with it negative. So let's do the positive one first. So 3x add 40 is equal to 2 open bracket x add 4 minus 5. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So we have 3x plus 40 is equal to 2x plus 8 minus 5. So we have 3x plus 40 is equal to 2x plus 3. So therefore take off 2x off both sides and that gives us x. So taking off 2x off both sides, x is going to equal minus 37 there. X is going to equal minus 37. Oops, not minus 34, minus 37. And we'll think about whether these solutions are both valid in a moment. Right, next one, let's solve it as though it was negative. So this is going to be 3x plus 40 is equal to minus 2 open brackets x plus 4 minus 5. Okay, so we have 3x plus 40 is equal to minus 2x minus 8 minus 5. So therefore we now have 5x when we add that 2x across that other side. And let's see what it's going to equal when we take both of those away. It's going to equal minus 53. So 5x equals minus 53. So therefore x is equal to minus 53 over 5. Okay, perfect. Right, let's see what that's going to give us. So 53 divided by 5, 53 divided by 5 is going to give us x is equal to minus 10.6. Okay, so now what we need to do is consider which one of these values we're allowed. So we need to consider why it is, which solution we're allowed and why. So let's have a look and think about our graph. So over here, we were solving 3x add 40 is equal to 2 times x add 4 minus 5. So that's as though we were solving this graph without the modulus function having been present. Okay, so we're basically just solving where does this meet this line. And if there was no modulus function applied and we just had the line 2 open bracket x add 4 minus 5, then that line would have continued down here and they would have both intersected much further down here, and that is where x is equal to minus 37 down there. This one is where x is equal to minus 53 over 5, or minus 10.6. So basically, because we're in the region where the modulus has already made the graph go positive over here, we're not really concerned about this one here, because this solution would have come from if we were just solving the line 2 times x add 4 minus 5, which would have been down here. Okay, now we can be confident that the graph's not going to intersect again up here, because this line has a gradient of 3 and this line only has a gradient of 1. So there's no concern that they're going to intersect again up there. So the only solution to this one is minus 37. And we're going to basically not include that one because we're in the region where the modulus has made the negative go, has made this bit go positive. okay? But we are in the region over here where the modulus has had its effect by putting a minus in front, and it's caused the graph to go up here. So when we solve that, we get minus 10.6, and that's a solution there. Okay, so we accept this one on the basis of the fact that this is the solution that's come from where the modulus has made this negative value go up here, and that's the one that we want there. This solution is not relevant because it's where, if it was the positive graph, where it would have crossed down there. Okay, quite complicated that bit, I think, for 2 marks. Now, what's next? Oh yeah, this bit. Wow, this bit we're about to look at, in my experience, students find super tricky. So it says a line L has the equation y is equal to ax. I feel like I need to get a little bit of a sketch going here to illustrate what's happening. Okay, so there's our graph from the question, the 2 times the modulus of x add 4, minus 5. Okay, now what does it say? It says the line has the equation y is equal to ax, where a is a constant, given that L intersects the curve at least once. Find the range of possible values of a, giving your answer in set notation. So we've got a line y equals ax like this that goes through the origin, okay, that's going to have various gradients. Okay, so let's imagine now, if we have got, it says it intersects it at least once. Okay, so we've got here there's our line y equals ax. Now the first thing to do is let's just imagine that it is the case that this line is parallel here to the other line going there. It is not going to intersect at all if that line's parallel. Now the gradient of this line here is actually 2, okay, because we're imagining the bit where we've got 2x add 4 minus 5. This bit of the line is as though we had 2 open brackets x add 4 minus 5. In other words, 2x plus 8 minus 5. So in other words, 2x add 3. Okay, so basically 2x add 3. So the gradient of that line there is in fact actually 2. So therefore, if that gradient is any bigger than 2, then they're going to intersect at least once. They'll be intersecting somewhere up here. So if it intersects at least once, we're going to need to say that the gradient would need to be greater than 2. That's going to cause 1 point of intersection. Okay, so if the gradient is greater than 2, that's going to be 1 intersection. Now, where else? So let's imagine the gradient is now less than 2. We've got no intersection, no intersection, no intersection until we get to this point here, where the line y equals ax just goes through the vertex P. Okay, so in other words, we have no intersection up until we get to this point where this line is just going through there. Now at this point here we're going to have at least 1 intersection. Okay, so we need it to be greater than that value. So we need to think about what is that going to correspond to. Well, we know the coordinates of P. From earlier in the question we know that P has the coordinates minus 4, minus 5. Okay, so we can work out a gradient from that. So let's have a little look and see what we've got. So the y value is going to be 5 and the x value is going to be 4. So the gradient of this line going through the origin like that is going to be change in y over change in x. So it's going to be 5 over 4. Okay, in other words, 1.25. So what we need is we need the gradient to be less than that. So a has to be less than 5 over 4. Because if a is less than, now what does it say? It solves it at least once. So we can say that it has to be less than or equal to. Because when it's equal to, we have got that one solution. So when the gradient is equal to 5 over 4, we intersect just once. And if the gradient is any less than that, then it intersects twice. So that's fine. Okay, so that's our range of values that we're going to have. Basically, we have that a has to be greater than 2, or we have a has to be less than 5 over 4. Now, it asks us to write this in set notation. So we're going to say that a is a member of the set where a is less than or equal to 5 over 4. And because we're saying or, it means we're going to say union. So or, a is a member of the set where a is greater than 2, and that's our curly bracket there. That's the world's worst curly bracket there. So that's what we would say for that part C, and I think that that is definitely quite tricky. Okay, I hope you found that helpful. Remember, if you're finding these videos useful, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, that would be great. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.